What is up, guys? My name is PokePaxtonPlays as always, and today we're gonna do a really cool video on a deck that I thought was really cool, piloted by Krissy Britton, that got top 8 at the United States National Championships. So this deck, of course, focuses on Seismitoad EX, and Seismitoad does for 2 colors energy, 30 damage, and your opponent cannot play item cards on his or her turn. Now that seems pretty weak, but actually, if you add a Muscle Band, which does 20 more damage, Seismitoad's Quaking Punch is already doing 50, which is 4 hitting. But that's not enough, so you actually add Hypnotoxic Laser and Burbank City Gym, and so that does 80 damage. When it comes back to you on your turn, it does 110. If your opponent stays in on that turn after you attack with a Quaking Punch and Hypnotoxic Laser Burbank, they're actually going to get knocked out, so that's very cool. Another attacker you have in this deck is Manectric EX. Now Manectric EX is very powerful with its overrun attack, which does 20 and 20 to for 1 colorless. But the main attack it uses is actually Assault Laser, with 60 plus 60 more if your opponent has a tool. Now your opponent might see a bait and say, okay, if he plays Manectric, then I'm just not going to play a tool. However, you can counter that by playing 2 Headringer and actually attaching a Pokemon tool to one of your opponent's EXs. For example, when I was in cities around December, I was playing around, of course, and I would just leave my Meloetta active because I was getting a bad start. And what he would do is he would actually Headringer my Meloetta and just attack it and get the knockout. And so Headringer actually partners very well with Manectric. Now, another thing you can do to accelerate Seismitoad's damage and Manectric is you can actually use well, I'm just going to show this first. Zubat has a free retreat. The one in Phantom Forces does not, but once this rotates, you're going to have to use it. But the main thing I'm really looking at here is Golbat. So it does 2 damage counters to one of your opponent's Pokemon, which is really powerful in itself. But when you evolve Golbat, you actually do the same thing, but with 3 damage counters. So this is really, really powerful. Just snipe things off. Like, a lot of times what will happen is you'll do a lot of damage with Manectric or Seismitoad and they'll just retreat. And so what you can just do is use your bats. And against decks like Night March, you can just snipe really quickly on the bench. Some cool combinations with this deck you can do is actually use Manectric, attach a Muscle Band to them, attach a Muscle Band if they have a tool, and then you can use Hypnotoxic Laser and Burbank City Gym, and if they have 170 HP or less, you're actually going to knock them out. You play 2 Shamans for a lot of acceleration, and it's just really powerful. 1 Silent Lab, which is a really interesting card. I actually like it. It prevents, if you're going first and you have it, most decks play Shaman nowadays, so you can just kind of play it, and there's no real downside to you other than Shamans. So it's a really powerful card, and so much so that, and it's situational as well. Like it can be Keldeo, and she liked it so much that she decided to play it over a 3rd Burbank, which is really interesting. 2 Muscle Bands just because they're very powerful. Her Ace Spec is actually really interesting. I had to trade for it because I didn't even have it before this profile. But what the Rock Guard does is if you have it on one of your Pokemon, every time they attack you, they take 6 damage counters. Now you might be saying, oh, they can just Zerosic it or whatever. They can, like, Megaphone it. But actually, when you're playing Seismitoad, and you're just item locking them, it's really hard for them to get rid of it. Sure, they can Zerosic it, but that takes away their entire turn. So yeah, it's a cool tech that people have been playing within Seismitoad EX, just because, if they have item lock, they can't really get rid of it easily. And if they do, they're using their supporter for the turn, one of the most powerful cards in their deck. 1AZ, just because sometimes you might want to scoop up Seismitoad and actually like promote like a Crobat with because all of them have free retreat, and then like decide what your attacker will be. Now, an interesting thing I heard from an interview from the person who got 2nd in Seattle Regionals is he said, and I'll quote him, but he said that it's not, you don't want to have 2 Golbats evolving to Crobat the next turn. He said that the ideal setup is to have a Golbat, and a Crobat, and a Zubat in play. So then that like you can AZ or Super Scoop up the Crobat, evolve the Crobat, Golbat into Crobat, evolve the Zubat into Golbat, and then play the Zubat down for the next turn. And you can kind of infinite it with your VS Seekers and your 3 Super Scuba up. So it's very, very powerful. And you just don't want to recycle all this damage, get a lot of extra damage. Now, when I first saw bats, I'm like, is it worth like 10 spots in your deck? Like, you're doing a couple damage counters, you're doing petty change, and then once I started playing with it, I'm like, this is so clutch. It does so much. This does so well, and it does so well that Lando Bats was like really the dominating force. And even like in the States, Seismitoad Bats did really well. You play 1 Xerosic, just a powerful card, clutch. 4 Lightning Energy and 4 DC. He chose to run Lightning Energy because he wanted to attack with Manectric over using Grenade Hammer with Seismitoad. But other than that, the deck seems pretty standard for Seismitoad Bats deck. The 2 Headringer, very, very good. Of course, I just really like Headringer as a card. A very cool card. And very cool concept to attach tools to your opponent. So now that we've talked to the deck a bit, I mean, you can Shaman for a lot of acceleration turn 1 to get what you want going. So now that we've talked about the deck, let's actually jump into a game on PC Joe where I'll provide live commentary on my experiences, and I guess I changed the deck, so I'll just say this. Where I'll provide my experience and like commentary on what I think about the situations that are happening. I'm actually going into my last year of seniors, which is pretty interesting and exciting. I'm hoping to do some big things this year before I move on into Masters. So we're playing against Lonesto, and he has the advantage with a water and a colorless deck. So I might be playing Primal Kyogre, in which case his deck might have a bit of trouble because of the Suicunes and stuff like that. So we start off with Seismitoad and a Bat, which is a pretty good start. We don't really have a good supporter, and I'm not sure if I want to play. If I'm going second, I'll definitely play this, and I am going second. So he's playing a Primal Kyogre deck, which is kind of scary. Especially with the Articuno. Like I said, when I profile it, this can be a threat, even though it looks not very powerful. So he attaches Float Stone is pretty much the ideal set. So onto my turn, which we top deck the Juniper, which is really good. I'll just play the Hypnotoxic Laser, try to get him to sleep. Actually, it doesn't even matter because like of the Keldeo EX, which will really disable the thing, the effect of Hypnotoxic Laser. It'll be more like a one-trick pony, and oh man, we whiffed the. Oh, okay, this is bad. We whiffed the double colorless energy. Now what we can do is I can actually play an Ultra Ball and hunt and get a Shaman. I think I'll discard this Jurassic, and I'm questioning whether I want to play Verbank. I think it'll be better to hold it off. So get a Shaman. Just because he's going to be using a lot of Rough Seas, and so my stadiums are going to be very important. Now I can go for it again. I'm not sure if I want to do that. I mean, getting the item lock is very important against Primal Kyogre, because that means he's going to have to end his turn. So I'm going to fish a little bit. I'm going to discard this, because hopefully we can get a supporter with the one card. I should have checked if it was prize or not. We actually have Golbat prize. 3 Golbat prize, it looks like. Actually, I think I discarded one. So Shaman 3, hoping to get a DC. And we with the DC. Okay, this is really bad, because now we can just discard the Rock Guard. Yeah, this is not looking too good. I'll drop the Manectric because it can do some work. later in the game. But yeah, attaching the rock guard and then missing Quaking Punch is really bad. Oh man. So did you guys see Evo today, the evolution? It was really exciting with the Smash 4 and the Melee. I had some bets going on that, but I lost because the Hungry Box got second. So that's too bad. So what does Chilling Side do? And come on, wake up, wake up. Oh my lord. Okay. He didn't get the Spear Link onto this. So I'm probably gonna start piling damage onto Kyogre because it's more of a threat. And I'll actually save this because it's not really doing much right now. I mean, actually the 10 damage will be clutch, but no. I think I'm gonna go for... Okay, I'll do this, and I'll try and go for the Silent Lab. But it's really unfortunate that I whiffed the double colorless energy. Okay, now I get it. But it's not useful anymore. I'll attach electric energy to Manectric, because that gives me a lot more options than just attaching a DC to Seismitoad. Because the next turn I can decide, do I want to... Okay, this RNG isn't doing very well, but the next turn I can decide, do I want to Assault Laser or do I want to Quaking Punch? Because Quaking Punch takes 1 energy attachment, while as Assault Laser takes 2. So Lannister doesn't seem to have anything going, despite me missing that item lock, which is fortunate for us. So let's just see what he has going, and if he does anything. I think he's deciding where to go. And let me know what other decks from Nationals you want me to see, or just in general what decks you want to see. I can provide a list and make a lot of decks. Not all of them, but some. And here we go with the Suicune. My main goal here is just to get the Quaking Punch going more than anything. And I'll just Crobat this Suicune and go for the Quaking Punch. If we actually had a Silent Lab, that would be very, very clutch, because then I could attack. But alas, we don't, so... Let's see if anything happens. So, he's slowly powering up his Kyogre, but at some point he's going to have to end his turn, but with Suicune up front, there's not really any risk. I'm not really sure why he's... Where else he wants to go. Who's he's going to promote? Oh, he's going to use... Articuno to try to get me to sleep and stop the Quaking Punch and let him use items. Yeah, this is why you play so many scoop up cards and stuff like that. And yeah, it's really brutal. You see the Rough Seas. This is why this is an incredibly hard matchup, because not only the Rough Seas, but just the fact that, yeah, Rough Seas. You do a bit of bad damage, and if you don't one-hit knock at them, which you can because you're playing Seismitoad, you're just kind of screwed. Who is he gonna last ender? Okay. That's an interesting play, I guess. So, I'm just going to attach this there. Actually, attach a DC just to give me more options in case I do actually want to attack, which I probably won't. We get a lucky top decks with that, and I think I'm just gonna scoop this up. That's why I kept the DC, and yeah, so just scoop this up, bring this up, put this down, retreat this here. And this is going to be a very long game, just because of the fact that he can heal all the damage I do, but he can't really do very much damage either. But this is an unfavorable matchup, definitely. I can't really do very much. Eventually I'm just going to end the Quaking Punch and start going more aggressive with Manectric. So I'm going to have the Juniper a lot of resources away, which is unfortunate, but it has to happen. And I actually get a really good not top deck, but I get a really good card off the Juniper, which is a Silent Lab. Like I said, the Silent Lab is going to be very important because, first of all, you only have a number of stadiums, and their stadiums are very hard to counter. I only have 3 stadiums, and I have 4 lasers. All 4 lasers gone. So this point, Verbanker is just going to be a counter stadium. What I can do here is just scoop up Seismitoad. Or not scoop up Seismitoad. Okay. Just pass. I know, he has the item lock. I'm holding the Silent Lab because it's a very important resource for me. So, yeah, this is just a really rocky and hard matchup. But due to the nature of Seismitoad, I didn't see this coming where he would just try to stall me out. He's gonna end me. I mean, anything that does damage to me takes 6 damage counters back. So, and if I recall, this deck doesn't actually play hammers, does it? No, it doesn't. Which is something that a lot of decks, Seismitoad decks do, but because of all the thick bat lines, I guess they can't. Now, I can play. I mean, even if I play Silent Lab, it's not really gonna do anything. Just because, he can just counter it, and it's only 30 damage. If I had a Headringer in hand, I would just, I would get rid of this. But, actually I can, because he can't play, Floatstone again, so I'll get rid of the. Let's wait, what does he have here? Just Headringer? Okay. I'll get rid of this. But he can still retreat this. So next turn I guess I can get rid of that too. And continue the Quaking Punch. can finally use his attack, but I can heal, so it won't be too much effect. But Shaman dying is scary. It's very scary. So I'll use Rough Seas to heal off my Manectric and my Seismitoad. Do I have an AZ here? No, I don't. But, like, I want to keep this. I really do. I want to keep this Rock Guard. So I'll play the Silent Lab so he can't counter Stadium me. I mean, so he can't rush in and attack. And I'll via Seeker for Colress. And then I'll see if I can get something going. So I'll play the Super Scoop up and I'll miss. Okay. I think I'm gonna do this. How many DC do I have gone? None. Okay. So I still have 3 DCs left in my deck. So I can retreat into Manectric, break the item lock, unfortunately. But at the same time do a hefty amount of damage. So now he has 40 HP left. Oh my god. Breaking item lock may have been a mistake, but I'm not sure if it really was. He has 2 Professor's letters gone, but other than that, not too many resources. I can overrun. I can't do that. Okay, so I can AZ overrun, go bat him, and then he'll get knocked out. So that seems like a decent strategy. So I'll drop that, drop this. Go there, and then, although I will probably get knocked out next turn as well, he has Keldeo while I have like Seismitoad, so that's a lot of resources gone on his end. And I get my energy, which is good. So let's just kind of see what happens. And via Seeker for what? Colress. Okay. Yeah, Evo was just really hype, I've gotta say. Evo was really hype. And so we're gonna get knocked out by Secret Sword. I have 30 damage by this Crobat. But having, I think, 1 or 2 Crobat surprise, which is brutal. Okay, this may have been a misplay. But my idea is I attack him, he attacks me, and then he'll have 10 HP left, but I have no lasers left. So maybe I can like go bat him or something like that. And just set the Quicken Punch again. When you're playing a slow deck, games go long. It's just kind of the nature of what's gonna happen. Oh no, this is messed up my plan. Okay. So he's back at 70. If he takes 60 from and just pass? Okay. I am fine with that. So first thing I'm gonna do is rough seas, and I'll attach here. And if I Juniper, I'm gonna get rid of all of that. Will be I only have one Crowbite left, which is bad. And I'm not really going for anything, so I'll just Quake and Punch, which is essentially 0 at this point, just because of what the rough seas. So this is bad. This is just bad. Oh, rough seas, and then I'll just counter Stadium. Because I don't want to let him heal any more than he already has. Oh god. I stepped on the wire to my headphones. I'm also planning on getting some new headphones. So if you have any suggestions, or even a mic, if you have suggestions, just message me or comment below. I don't really mind either. I can colorless a 10 next turn, but I have a 3-card deck, which I didn't know, so I'm probably gonna deck out. Oops. It happens. I guess I just burned way too many resources. And I had some pretty bad prizes. I'm really aggressive, so like that's how I lose a lot of the time. I'm too aggressive. And how many VS Seeker do I have left? I think I've used all of them. Yeah, I've used all my VS Seeker. And how many N do I have left? That's a good question. 1, 2, and 3. So this is it. 3 more turns, and I lose. Just draw pass. I mean, I think this is the first time I've lost on, yeah, that's game. I think this is the first time I've lost in this series. But that just shows that, like, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. I just had a bad matchup. Most Primal or Mega decks is just really bad matchups in general. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and leave some suggestions for decks I can use down below. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.